Hi there, I'm Lisa Fitzpatrick and I'm from Sacred Women's Business, and I am here, dear wild sister, because I want to share something with you about what will get you off purpose more than any other thing and how you can get back on purpose again. And of course, we're all looking for our soul purpose if we haven't found it. We're all seeking a way to bring our greatest gifts into the world and to make them sustainable and to have the richest, most fulfilling life for ourselves. And I want that for you more than anything else. And there is one particular cycle that I notice women engage in that really take them off purpose quickly. And if you're stuck in this cycle, you may or may not be aware of it. And it's called your martyr victim perpetrator cycle. And it's an interesting cycle because it's such a common one for women. Because first of all, what happens is you martyr yourself in some way. And you may or may not even be aware that you're doing it. But it means that you are basically saying that you're going to put someone else's needs first before your own, and that you're going to martyr yourself to a partner, your children, your boss, the outside world's expectations, family, you name it. You can martyr yourself to anyone, but it means that you're overriding what you naturally know is your limits in some ways, or compromising on what your needs are to please someone else. And so many of us service-based, heart-based women are guilty of this one. And then the martyr inevitably leads us on that cycle to the victim space, where we find ourselves getting very resentful. And you might find that because you've compromised in some way, you're feeling a bit stressed and a bit overwhelmed, and then you start to be a bit poor me about that. I'm so guilty of this. I'm saying it because it's a personal experience. And the victim is a difficult situation to be in, because when we're in that victim mode, we tend to not know how to be at cause for what happens. We're disempowered by being a victim of our situation. And then as we become disempowered, the perpetrator shows up. And the perpetrator's a really nasty part of the cycle. The perpetrator says, oh, look at you now. You have really done it to yourself. You're fallen in a heap again. Look at you. Or sometimes even worse is the perpetrator turns around and says to her partner, her family, her friends, look at what you've done to me. Look at what life's done to me. And it becomes everyone else's fault. And this cycle is one that takes us off purpose so quickly, because it means that we're on that hamster wheel, which we don't know how to get off. And the way to get back on purpose really, really quickly is to first of all understand your guilt. Understand the guilt that makes you a martyr to everyone else's needs. And ask yourself, who does this belong to when you are making a decision and a thought comes into your mind which says to you, do you really want to say yes to this? And sometimes we override our yes because our guilt belongs to an old program that we might be playing. And that old program says you're not a nice person unless you say yes and compromise on your energy and your well-being. And that is one of the fastest ways to send us into that martyr state of people-pleasing. So asking the question, who does this belong to? And really checking in with where that guilt's coming from. Is it coming from you and your heart? Or is it coming from a sense of obligation that doesn't need to be there anymore? And getting back on purpose means focusing in on the things that do bring you sustenance, the things that do light you up and fill your tank and make you feel so full that actually the interesting side effect is that you can start saying yes very happily to even more, because of the fact that your cup is overflowing because you've put great boundaries in place and you haven't engaged in the martyr victim perpetrator wheel, which can be a really, really difficult cycle if you're not aware of being on it. So I really hope that's helpful. Get off your martyr victim perpetrator cycle. Ask yourself what belongs to you and own it. And own this beautiful, precious human life that you have been given. Because the thing is, there is no other person who is like you. You are so unique, just like a snowflake, that getting off this wheel and being who you authentically are doesn't require you to have to say yes to things you don't want to say yes to. It means that you can walk through life feeling very confident and comfortable with your boundaries in place. Lots of love to you. I hope that's been helpful. I'm Lisa Fitzpatrick, and it's been wonderful to connect with you today. Many, many blessings to you. Bye.